You'll be surprised to know how much being a criminal can pay off. In this video, we're taking a look at the top 5 richest criminals of all time and see how they ended up becoming billionaires. Dawood Ibrahim. Dawood Ibrahim is known to be India's biggest underworld king who managed to escape being caught every step of his career. Born in 1955, Ibrahim grew up to run an organized crime syndicate called the D Company that's responsible for all kinds of terrorism, murders, extortion, shootings, and of course, drug pushing to the point where the drug lord now controls around 75% of the world's heroin trafficking. In 2003, Ibrahim was declared to be a global terrorist with a $25 million bounty to his head. With an estimated net worth of around $6.7 billion, Ibrahim has his hands in diamonds, gold, real estate, and is known to be one of the richest criminals in the world whose whereabouts are still not known. Pablo Escobar. After the release of the Netflix show Narcos, Pablo Escobar has very well become a household name. With an estimated net worth of $25 billion, Escobar ran one of the world's deadliest drug cartels that was responsible for pushing drugs not just in his hometown of Colombia, but also all over the world. When it comes to cocaine, Escobar was known as the king of the drug, shipping out 15 tons of it every single day, giving him 80% control of the international market. At the peak of his career, Escobar was making around $420 million a week. In fact, Escobar once ended up burning $1 million in cash to keep his daughter warm while he and his family were on the run from the authorities. With this kind of money, the drug lord had all politicians under his belt and would bribe them to cater to all his wishes. Escobar also ended up breaking out from jail in 1993, and after that, he was executed, putting an end to his reign of terror once and for all. Known to be the heroin king of China, Khun Sa is a criminal worth $5 billion, and what's really surprising is how young he started out. Khun Sa was called the Lord of the Golden Triangle, with the Golden Triangle referring to Laos, Thailand, and Myanmar, a region that's known to be the hub of global heroin trade. Khun Sa actually built his very own army of militants when he was just 16 years old. But in 1963, he ended up starting an opium business and never looked back. He invested heavily into opium supply and ended up controlling around 45% of New York's opium trade. Despite being illiterate and never having gone to school, Khun Sa still managed to become the kingpin of an industry as ruthless as the underworld opium trade.
They think I am an opium kingpin just because of my name.
Leona Helmsley. Known as the Queen of Mean, Helmsley was a real estate magnate who went to prison for evading her taxes. When charged for her crimes, Leona Helmsley went on to say that only the little people pay taxes.
Only the little people pay taxes, right?
With career earnings of around $2.5 billion, this woman originally had to go to jail for 11 years, but using her money and contacts, she managed to reduce it down to just 19 months. Leona and her husband Harry were also accused of extortion under the guise of the real estate deals, which is how they made the most of their fortune and bought themselves extravagant things such as their infamous $1 million dance floor. When Helmsley passed away in 2007, her total net worth was $5 billion, showing just how much money she made using unlawful means.
My only crime is that I'm Leona Helmsley.
Al Capone. Al Capone is one of the most iconic criminals America has ever seen. Famously known as Scarface, Al Capone entered the underworld from a very young age and rose to prominence with the Chicago gang, where he ended up becoming the boss. Al Capone was the #1 supplier of bootleg alcohol in the 20s and 30s. However, his career in crime was cut short when he was arrested at the age of just 33 after a 7-year-long reign as Chicago's sole drug lord. The man was arrested for tax evasion, but you'll be surprised to know that he was actually super charitable and gave away a huge part of his wealth to all kinds of welfare organizations. Then again, he was responsible for the deaths of thousands of people, so maybe he wasn't all that charitable. Al Capone made over $100 million throughout his criminal career, which easily amounts to be over $1 billion today. Sadly, he died in January 1947 after going into cardiac arrest, but not before leaving behind a legacy for all other criminals in the world. That's a wrap for the top 5 richest criminals of all time. Which one of these notorious crime lords would you hate to cross paths with?